Well, good morning, everybody. I decided since yesterday had been a little more peaceful towards the evening that I was quiet, but I've decided to go ahead and get another piece of my story. Now, my husband is dealing with some family members that are unruly and disrespectful. And mind them, they did not understand that at one point in time, one of their fake friends, let's just say Tony out there somewhere, you can look up Midtown Manor stabbing, Wichita Falls, Texas, 2017. Now, I took the blame for that fight. But that is not the whole story. When you are in a situation, when you're in a CPS battle, and you've got a stupid ex-husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, some things you just can't put in the public. But, as you've heard about the other incident, if you've watched my previous video, he's a psychotic, narcissist idiot. But I want to make it clear. My ex-husband and this Tony guy, in the news, it looks like they was fighting over me. That is not the truth. My ex-husband was fighting because my pops, God rest his soul, he was a great man. And he knew, and I made an agreement that unless it ever had to be brought out, this would have never been revealed. But I think it's time I get to start telling some of my story. Just pieces here and there. Well, my ex-husband thought he was going to be a Hells Angels motorcycle club and be a pedophile. Now, mind you, some of them are womanizing, abusing pedophile traffickers. San Francisco, California's got a chapter that is scammers that threaten women and threaten children. Mr. Harris, to be exact, is a VP of that club, he claims. He's money laundering from them too, and they don't seem to care. But that is their business, not mine. But I want to make this clear. Tony thought being an Aryan Brother task force, which Pop said was a practical joke, was not even real in Texas. They're the ones that wimp out and just can't make it, and a little wannabe gang, as he put it, and that's putting a lot of words than he did. Trust me. And so I took the blame. I lost my apartment. I ended up homeless a few months after that. My ex-husband kicked my door in during the time period. I even had SWAT team, when he missed his court date, show up at my house. And I have a tweenie. He's awesome. Kane is my hero. He was about 9 months old. He was under a big body pillow. And he sent SWAT team going backwards out of my little old teeny tiny apartment. And I tried to tell them it was a little tweenie, 9-pounder. They didn't want to believe it because of the big blanket and the body pillow. Well, several of us got to laugh for months after that. Because Wichita Falls Task Force seems to cover for my ex-husband, Michael David Eastel, also known as David Holt, and several other aliases he uses. And he is no part of no motorcycle club. The man, let's just say it this way. Men like that, all they do is hurt people. They enjoy other people's pains. A man that runs around psychotically on heroin, in which I tried to get him off of it, and he did cocaine, ecstasy, you name it, he didn't give a shit. But that man's an idiot. He got off the charges for sexually assaulting my daughter because she was too clingy. So they dropped the charges in Jack County to purchase of a BB gun. So the man walked free. And I heard that wasn't his first incident. Several others contacted me when things came out in the news. And if you want to check, that man put me in the crisis center 17 times in 1 year. Said I had problems. Anytime I brought up things was strange, I didn't want her out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I didn't want her walking down a no-light dirt road to deliver a meal to a man who I know for a fact was involved in teenage porn and was a woman abuser. And he was a law enforcement officer. He was out in Midland area. He was a Texas Ranger. But he was right there in Bryson, Texas, Jack County. You can verify all the information online. I have documents to back up everything I'm saying, so if you want to message me, feel free. I have no shame. I pleaded for help. I begged for help. I was the bad person. No matter what I said, how hard I tried, nobody wanted to believe me. But when it hit the news, there was many from little town of Bryson with all big apologies. That was way too late. Somebody should have been there when I was begging and pleading instead of believing a man who's walked out of Oklahoma prisons because he's carrying a badge, apparently, or a hell of a snitch. But he walked out after turnaround attacking, multiple retaliations on witnesses and everything else. And he is wanted in the state of Oklahoma for fines, but Oklahoma does not allow you to set your fines out like Texas and some other states do. You have to physically pay them. So I doubt he'll ever be caught in the state of Oklahoma very long. But the man is a psychotic idiot. Runs around with machetes. Thinks he's above everybody. His eyes turn dark. He's a very evil man. He worships a star of, he calls it David. I call it the devil. We can say whatever we want to about an opinion. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. This man claims to have a Bible degree, and he knows his Bible forwards and backwards. But hold on. Now, what does the Bible tell us about the devil and how quick he fools us? And I remember those dirt roads that there was vehicles I tried to point out to sheriff's deputies in Jack County. All of them's kin to somebody in Bryson. The specific ones I can point out. I won't give names. But they covered it up. These same people do cockfights, dog fights. Get by with everything. Nobody wants to do nothing. But I was the bad person. And let me get to a portion of this. There's a list in Texas of 11 people, as I brought up in my other conversations. And these officers cover it up. Wichita County, Young County, Jack County, Archer County, it's covered up all over Texas. Wichita County has had a hotel, a bar, and everything ran by these people. Nobody wants to do nothing. And here's the thing. Why should these people continue to get by with it? Why can't I tell my story? They shouldn't be allowed to threaten me or my children. I shouldn't have to have no contact with my children for the reason just to keep them safe. But I will for the rest of my life. Any of these pedophiles that I know that is connected to the Epstein files or more, and Texas has a big bunch. I have some major FBI files on them that there was never an arrest. And that's sad. But that's okay. Y'all can thank Mr. Elon Reeve Musk for that one and his association to Mr. Estep's mother. And I will say this. This is my blog for the morning. I hope everybody has a great day. It feels better being able to tell pieces of my story There's bits and pieces probably will never be completely revealed. My own children have told me for going to DPS and FBI and telling them I'm willing to testify against these people, I am losing my mind because I'm asking to die. No, I'm not asking. I want to be free. I want to have life. And I do not want the association to my current husband's family that is connected to them. And one of them cuts up cars in Wichita Falls. Mr. Anthony. And he wants to call me out of my name and threaten me. Well, he can do so. But here's the catch. I'm not hiding in an office. I'm not only telling one or two officers. I'm not hiding in a hotel. I'm giving it publicly. This man cuts up cars for one of them associations that at one point in time ended up, I helped save out of the news media because I was in a CPS custody battle and I had bigger things in my life to be more important. But now that I ended up am in the situation I'm in, and I can speak freely because I'm free, white, over 18, any race can speak freely. Freedom of speech in the United States. Mr. Musk has told me I'm not allowed to speak. Also, Mr. Musk has told me the day that the incident with Charlie Kirk, he asked me why did I accuse Trump of it. And that was not my comment on YouTube. My comment was, we have other people politically that just had a major situation, but the only focus that the whole main administration was holding to was loaning Air Force One out to part of the Freemasons Club, Erica Kirk and them. Those are the ones who attacked my daughter. That is a big association. They're bankers, lawyers, real estate, bondsmen, and more. Constables, city police, sheriffs. I mean, it's not just one type of person. People that have money. They're involved with a lot of drugs. And mostly the heavy drugs like fentanyl and ecstasy, cocaine and heroin. Or lately it has been ketamine. Ketamine is a vet medication. I did not know that they were supposed to be using it as humans and mixing it with other stuff. But each to their own. I have animals and it's like an anesthesia. It calms them enough where they can do, example for my ferret, they can check her lungs, her ears, her teeth, do x-rays, and give her all her shots without her getting agitated, hostile, which, I'm sorry, if I'm being strapped down to a table and doing a bunch of x-rays and stuff, and there's no way for her to understand really what's going on, because it's only once a year that she gets that exam, she's not going to remember it next year. So, yes, I understand why they have to use something to calm them, to allow them for a short term, but I do not think it was meant for humans. But these people don't care. And if anybody wants to listen to one of the next blogs coming up soon, you might want to check states that has had accidental rollovers or accidents that can pertain to monkeys or tigers that got loose, supposedly had diseases, and later found out they was disease-free, but they've been used for illegal research. Some have been sold to pet shops and more. The address connected to them is 1123 South Montreal, Dallas, Texas, and 1900 South Pacific. James Feet, David Holt, Debbie Lee Feet, Angela Benjamins. There are so many. The names are all listed on my deal. But they're all associated. And all these people that are associated, that have stolen my money, threatened me, threatened my family, threatened my animals, will no longer do so. Because I am going to take and speak out and make sure the stories are known for their actions. Maybe if it's only to protect one other person. If you interact with these people, they are not USDA breeders. They're not real estate agents. They're not loan people. They're not going to give you no government grant. None of it. They are thieves. Disrespectful, abusing women and children, and animal thieves. That belong personally, people that abuse children and animals, I believe they should put them under a prison, but that is only my opinion. But that is my morning blog. I hope everybody has a great day. God bless and be safe.